Hello, everyone. Shakia Chanel here, also known as Coach Shakia. Welcome back. Let me just remind you, I am a coordinator for Asphalt Green's Recess Enhancement Program, also known as REP. And at REP, our goal is to make recess safe, active, and fun. Now, in order to do that under the current conditions safely, let's go over our safety tips before we learn our new game. So, first tip is everyone should be washing their hands for at least 20 seconds before and after playing any game. Tip 2, we should all be practicing social distancing. So everyone should be standing at least 6 feet apart at all times. Tip 3, and this one might be a little difficult, especially for our younger students, but we have to make sure that we are not touching our faces, and we have to remind our students for them not to touch their faces. And tip 4, if you have to cough or sneeze, don't do it into your hands. Make sure you cough or sneeze into your arm. 2 thumbs up if we understand, and 2 thumbs up if we are ready to learn a new game. Great. In this video, we are going to be focusing on a really fun game called Pass the Movement. What's the name of the game? Pass the Movement. Now, Pass the Movement is a great game for students of all ages, and you can play it in many different spaces. In this game, you can maintain appropriate distance and safety, and you don't need any equipment to play this game. Now, I'm going to use the REP model, which stands for Ready, Explain, Play, to teach you about Pass the Movement. So let's start with ready. There's a couple things that we need to do to get ready in order to lead our game. So the first thing we want to do is map out our play space and designate boundaries. Second, we want to make sure that we remove anything that might pose a safety risk to our students in our play area while they're playing the game. Third, you want to make sure that, and this goes for any game, have whatever equipment you need ready to play the game. Now, for Pass the Movement, you don't need any equipment. And lastly, you want to make sure that you have all your students in an organized but spaced out area. So for Pass the Movement, your students are going to be lined up, one head behind each other. Just make sure that your students are standing at least 6 feet apart during the game. I hope you're all still following along with me. We're going to move on to explain. So when we are going to lead a game for our students, we have to give them a brief explanation of the rules. We have to teach them how to play the game. When we're doing this, we want to make sure to use a loud, clear voice. We don't want to yell at our students. We just want to command their attention. And we also want to check for understanding. We want to make sure they understand the rules that we just told them. So I'm going to do this with open-ended questions. A question I would ask my students while playing Pass the Movement is, when can you open your eyes? Or what are you going to do after you pass the movement? You should have a copy. I'm sorry, my dog is right here. Her name is Hunty. You should have a copy of the rules for Pass the Movement in front of you. All right, I want you to follow along with me. I'm going to explain the rules to you as if I were explaining the rules to a group of students. Hello, students. Welcome to Recess. I'm Coach Shakia. Can everybody say, hi, Coach Shakia? Hi. Today, I have a brand new game for you. It's called Pass the Movement. What's the name of the game? Pass the Movement. So I'm going to start off being the leader of this game, all right? Everyone is going to be standing one head behind each other, starting with me. But what do we have to make sure that we do? That's right, stand 6 feet away from each other, all right? Don't worry, I'm going to put you in line. We're going to make sure that we're standing far apart from each other. So the game is going to start off with me being the leader, all right? Everyone has to close their eyes. I'm going to open my eyes, turn around, and face the person behind me. And I'm going to say their name. When I say their name, they're going to open their eyes, all right? When can you open your eyes? Right, if you hear your name called. When they open their eyes, I'm going to do 3 movements. All right, and I'm going to turn again, face forward, and close my eyes. When they see my 3 movements, they're going to do the same exact thing. They're going to turn around, look at the person standing behind them, say their name, and do the same movements to that person standing behind them. And then they're going to turn and face forward, okay? Then the next person in line will do the same exact thing, all right? The goal of the game is to make the movements that I did from the front of the line to make it all the way to the end of the line without any mistakes, okay? If anyone makes a mistake, then we have to do 10 jumping jacks, all right? Now, if we can get the movements all the way from the front of the line to the end of the line, the last person on the end of the line, when they get the movements, they're going to say, everyone, open your eyes. And everyone's going to face them and see if we got the movements from the front of the line to the end of the line. If we did, then great, we get a point. But again, what happens if we made a mistake? That's right, 10 jumping jacks. What happens if we couldn't get the movement from the front of the line to the end of the line? 10 jumping jacks. And what happens if we do? Yeah, we all win. We get a point, okay? So that's how we play Pass the Movement. So after we explain the game to our students, we're going to move on to actually playing the game. And a couple things that you want to keep in mind while playing Pass the Movement is one, practice passing a movement down the line with everybody's eyes open. So you just do a quick round of everyone trying to pass the movement from the front of the line to the back of the line, just so everyone can have a good idea of how the game is played. Next, you want to remind students during the game to keep their eyes closed. Some students might peek, so you want to make sure that everyone's playing fair. So if you see anyone peeking, just remind them everyone should keep their eyes closed, and you can even add in a rule that no one can continue to pass on the movement until everyone has their eyes closed. Also, you want to keep in mind the student's level or ability. So for younger students like kindergarten and first, you can start off with 1 or 2 movements just so that they can get used to it. Sometimes the younger students, it's a little more difficult for them to catch on to a game. For the older students who like competition and you can increase the difficulty, so they can start off with 4 or 5 movements. I suggest always starting off with 3 for the older students and then adding in extra movements after each round is done. And last, you also want to switch the leader. You want to switch the person who's standing in the front of the line. As the person who is leading the game, I would start off in the front of the line, and once the movement gets to the back, whoever was standing in the back of the line can become the new leader. So everyone is going to shift back, and that person in the back of the line can come to the front and be the new leader. Or if you started off as the leader, you can remove yourself from the game, and the person who was behind you can become the new leader, just so you are out of the game and you can watch from a distance how they're playing. So that's Pass the Movement. I really like this game. It's a good game for everyone to be involved, and everyone is standing safely 6 feet apart. Okay. I hope you loved learning how to play Pass the Movement. So we should have a new game for you all to learn tomorrow. Stay tuned for more videos, and have fun and be safe. Have a good one, everyone.